Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, all of the huge businessmen, entrepreneurs of modern society, they will pass soon because they're getting old. There needs to be a new generation. There will be a new generation that will rise. There will be new entrepreneurs that will rise. There will be so much competition that only 1%, less than 1% of the people in our generation will be able to get to that level. Now, here's an amazing opportunity though, because it's not like how things were in the past where most people were shooting for this level of achievement. No. Now, this gives us a huge edge because 80 to 90% of our generation, they're too busy scrolling Instagram reels, scrolling TikTok reels. They're too busy playing video games, too busy distracted to make significant progress in anything. So if you can just control those habits alone, just those three, video games, phone, TV, if you can control those distractions and harness your focus on whatever you're doing, anything you're doing, you'll be able to beat 90% of our generation, 90%, probably more, probably up to 95% of our generation. Because 9 out of 10 people that I know my age, and probably you at the moment, are too busy distracting themselves. They're too busy distracting themselves to make huge progress. And so when all the competition is like this, when everybody is like this, right? Everyone's at this level. The guys at the top, all they need to do is eliminate those distractions and they're way up here. So if you want to get ahead of most people in our generation, all you need to do is eliminate those distractions. Eliminate the distractions and harness your focus. Once you do that, you're in the top 10% if you can do it consistently. Imagine how much of an edge that gives you over everyone else. The odds are you'll keep scrolling down TikTok reels or Instagram reels. You'll keep scrolling down TikTok. You'll keep distracting yourself. You'll keep watching TV and playing video games because it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. And that's why you'll probably keep on doing it. And you know what your competitor is going to do? He's going to start to realize that all of the things that you're doing are distractions. And to get that advantage over you, all he's going to do is eliminate the distractions and work on his craft. And that's how he's going to get ahead. In everything you do, everything, I guarantee you, you're using Instagram reels, TikTok videos, YouTube, anything that's distracting you, that's not bringing you value. So there's a difference between, obviously, things that are not helping you and educational content like this. Educational content like the self-improvement content in general. However, even with those things, you can get distracted. Even with the videos like these, if you watch them all day, you're not gonna make progress. So that's why you should limit yourselves, even with self-improvement. And that's why you should limit the amount of intake you have, even when it comes to self-improvement. So by this point, 9 out of 10 people already have lost focus on the video. And if you're still listening, you actually have a pretty good attention span. And with you, I believe there's actually hope. So most people aren't going to be able to quit the phone, quit video games, quit all of these distractions. However, you have a chance at doing it. You might be the 1 out of 10, the 1 out of 20 who's able to limit the distractions, to harness all of that focus onto your craft. And it doesn't matter what you do in everything. The distractions are going to slow you down and your competitor will be able to rise above you. That's why it's so easy to compete with our generation, because they're so distracted. They're so busy doing these bad habits. It's so easy to destroy the competition because most people are doing these things. And all you got to do is limit those distractions and you're already ahead of most people. You're already ahead of most people just by limiting those distractions. I'm already beating the competition just by limiting those distractions and pressing the record button. That's all I need to do. And I'm getting ahead. That's all it takes. And once you're at this level, after that, you compete with the big dogs. So after you eliminate the distractions and you get ahead of most people, now you're competing with the people that are on your level. And when you're doing this, now is when you need the optimizations, when you need to not only limit all of the distractions, but also work slightly harder than your competition, optimize your diet slightly better than your competition, do everything just a little bit better than they would. Everything. And this is hard because they're going to be trying to do that exact same thing. So competing in college, competing in athletics, competing in anything within our generation, a lot easier than it seems. And so competing with our generation is a lot easier than it was to compete with generations from the past. Generations from the past weren't as distracted. They didn't have all these distractions, so what would they do? They would focus on the craft. And now if you can just eliminate the distractions, you get ahead so easily, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing. So if you don't think you have the opportunity, if you don't think you could do it, just know that everyone else that's your competition, most of them are distracted. And all you need to do is eliminate those distractions to get a huge step ahead. And that's going to have a compound effect, because at first when you eliminate distractions, it doesn't seem like it's making a difference. And then you keep doing it. And then you realize, oh, they're actually so distracted. And I've been outworking them by 2% every day, 1% every day. I've been putting in a little bit more work every single day. And I've been doing that for the last 2 years. And now what? I'm 100% ahead of them. 200% ahead of them. So don't let these distractions control you, because that's how you let your dreams slip, your aspirations slip, your focus slips. And that's how the others get ahead. Think about this. If you had two runners, two athletes, track athletes, whatever, and they both had the same build, they both had the exact same habits and did the exact same things every day. The only difference between them two was one of them at night, instead of going to sleep, he spends an hour extra every night scrolling on his phone, distracting himself. And the other one, instead of doing that, he just goes to sleep. So he gets that extra hour of sleep every day. Now, in the first few days, it's not going to make a difference. The first week, the first month, it's not going to make a huge difference. But over the course of a year and 2 years, 3 years, the athlete who's getting more restful sleep, more recovery every single day, he's going to be in a much better position than the athlete who's staying up an hour extra every night, in a much better position. It's just little things like that that make the difference. My name's Justin, and remember, you deserve the consequences of your actions.